Well, today we're hitting South Lake Minnetonka cities here. There's 5 of them that make up this area. We're eating, had a great breakfast here at the Hazelwood Grill, which is sort of a legendary breakfast spot. We're eating outside, social distancing, people wearing masks, people taking them off. So great to see that. Also next to one of my favorite pizza places, Joey Nova's. Chance maybe, because this is our last video that we're doing for a while, we might just go get some pizza, make this into a food tour. But we're gonna go through Shorewood, Excelsior, which we did early on in the wintertime. We started this whole series in January at Arctic Blast. And we also have Deephaven and Tonka Bay. So a lot of special cities. I'm gonna talk about Shorewood right now. Population, people don't realize it, 9,000 people nearly that live here in Shorewood. So these are some of the restaurants that are off of County Road 19. Again, something that Hennepin County deals with. And when you get back on Highway 7, you'll go out towards Tino's Pizza and Cafe out there, the legendary Tino Lettieri soccer player. So that's sort of the Shorewood area. And then you go down to Christmas Lake, which is also known to be one of the cleanest lakes in Minnesota, a neat community and a special area. So a lot of people think of Lake Minnetonka, but it's Christmas Lake. And you of course have the Minnetonka Watershed District that's out here. So a special area in a lot of ways. A lot of interesting people here, and I had a chance to meet with 3 of the 5 mayors in this area here. Not all of them endorsed in these races, which is pretty typical. Scott Zerby was the first person I talked to. Scott actually from the computer business probably about 30 years ago. He was a very informative person. He's a tech guy. He was on the city council and then the mayor, and he gave me some great insights into this area. Something that I didn't completely understand of why does it get so wet and do the roads take so much damage here. Again, these are county roads your taxes are paying for, is that most of this area is on the prehistoric basin of Lake Minnetonka. So when the glaciers came here and they eventually evaporated to make Lake Minnetonka, so that's a challenge. And so Scott was smart and pointed it out to me early on. In Deephaven, I met Mayor Screedy, and he was a very interesting character to talk to. Learned a lot about that wonderful city and that community that I've spent a lot of time in, just having grown up in this area. Going through Deephaven is another kind of special area. Went over to probably one of the smaller cities in our district, which is Greenwood. So that's right over around St. Albans Bay, not too far from Maynard's. We're gonna head back over that way by Adele's Custard, which is our secret little treat, best frozen custard in the world. Deb Kind is wonderful, and she thought it was really interesting that all the issues that we could talk about, mental health being a highlighted issue, and that was one of the reasons that she was really excited to talk. The Excelsior mayor was the last mayor that I caught up with. Todd Carlson, business person, neat person, cares a lot about the character of the town, the community, and preserving it. Excelsior is this little gem that we saw in the wintertime when it was very cold. We'll go back and see it in the summertime. And he was really neat to talk to. So I appreciate having both his endorsement, the Excelsior mayors, as well as Scott Zerby's from Shorewood. So that means a lot to me. We are in heaven. End of the series, we had to come to my favorite frozen custard place, Adele's Frozen Custard. Only open seasonally. We're having a chocolate vanilla espresso. So it's a health food basically, or a little treat right here. But we had to stop. But a great place, great community. It's fun coming here, seeing baseball teams, soccer teams, lining up like they're going to a Dairy Queen. But this is the real stuff. This is the good stuff. It's amazing. We used to come down here in the old days and get donuts. So it's a neat main street, a great retail scene going on out here too. So not just the restaurants, Olives is another favorite place, Lagos Tacos, Yumi Sushi, which we're seeing a few more of those around here. So a lot of restaurants. Again, this is this whole small town, Mayberry-esque feeling that you get in Excelsior. And the current mayor and city council have done a good job of really trying to keep that controlled growth here is really what they want to have. I'd love to see a small hotel come out here someday. They used to have a Ferris wheel and a whole park, an amusement park back in the old days. So a neat community and just a wonderful asset to this whole part of South Lake Minnetonka. Exciting project, and they're trying to do like in Wayzata, trying to preserve that natural waterfront area, a place to go, a place to hang out. Back when our son graduated from high school last year, class actually came out here to take their prom pictures. So it's a wonderful area, a neat project. I actually took some old campaign funds of mine to donate to the cause because I thought it was a neat thing to do. And any day in the summer is a party, is a special occasion, and so that's what makes it a neat area. We'll go down and see where the boats also come out of too, because there's a lot of boat rides and paddle boats and a lot of history that exists here. But we do the cold stuff, now we get to go see some warm things. We are right here in the Port of Excelsior at the docks, where a lot of people load up and go on some of the commercial crafts that show up here, as well as private boats, or pop into town to grab a bite to eat. We're looking out at the commons in the distance there, Tonka Bay, which we talked about earlier. We pan around the rest of the lake here. We're going to look over at Greenwood, at St. Albans Bay over there, and then we're going to come back to Excelsior. We, of course, just left Shorewood. So it's a neat, kind of great view that we've got here. Of course, we talked about, we started the video series here for Arctic Blast, and it was an Arctic Blast. So we saw the Hennepin County Sheriff's Deputies Water Patrol, but they were on ATVs. So they're here in the wintertime, they're here in the summertime. We just had a great conversation with Sheriff Hutch about the importance to this community of having the sheriffs out here. I think we all appreciate what they do for everyone. I think big issues out here, water quality, access to the lake, water quality. Right now you can see some of the milfoil that needs to be harvested out of here. Again, the Asian carp, those have been a problem, invasive species of all sorts. So trying to really figure a way to deal with that. The watershed district is the vehicle for dealing with some of those things. There's another group, the LMCMDA, that also deals with what goes on in Lake Minnetonka. And I would say, again, the county roads, access. Right now, the Narrows Bridge is being worked on. So that's 19 that would take you up into Orono. That's shut down for the summer, but that's what Hennepin County does. That's what your tax dollars do. And I would say taxes are another issue for people. There's a number of seniors that are out here. There are certainly a number of small businesses that are here and families. So keeping property taxes low, something that I did when I was a state representative, and something that we set as a Hennepin County Commissioner. It's one of the tools that we use to get revenue, and I'll be a good steward of those tax dollars. Just happened to run into a small business owner that actually does a lot of work here, Jeannie Anselmo, who I happen to be married to. She's actually designed a number of buildings, interior design here. And just curious, what do you think makes Excelsior such a special place, and Lake Minnetonka for that matter?
I think Excelsior offers small town charm with big city elegance. I think there's, from small little shops that have been here for years to new development, there's just so much to offer here.
And one last memory, what I think of here is the Rolling Stones, who played here in 1964. And they had a great line, because Mr. Jimmy would go into the Chelsea drugstore allegedly, and Mick Jagger saw him there. And he said, when you're here, you can't always get what you want, but you can get what you need. Well, in Excelsior, you can get what you need all the time. So please come here.